All right, boys. The young lady on screen is New Jersey congressional woman Mikie Sherrill. She represents the 11th district, which is right next to our beloved 10th with Congressman Payne. That's the hold on, let me get the thing right. Okay, so this is the 11th, this is the 10th. You can see how they intersect a little bit despite the vast difference in size. We share Bloomfield, Montclair, and West Orange. So she represents, she represents. This state is so small. This state is so small. But either ways, she recently beat Rosemary Bitchute for to continue representing that district. And fun fact, she's from Virginia. Man, it's really strange how many New Jersey elected officials aren't even from New Jersey. I find that very, very interesting. But nonetheless, she was recently at a town hall, and shout out to the homie Ryan McDonald over at New Jersey First, where the topic of voter fraud was brought up, and I believe that she had quite a few interesting things to say. So with that being said, let's get into it.
Okay, so this is a question from Rosemary from Denville. I'm very concerned about election security, especially in New Jersey where there's no paper trail for election ballots. I have written to both my state assemblymen about the issue and neither have responded. Is there anything that Congresswoman Sherrill can do to help New Jersey out specifically?
So that's a huge problem. If you're not aware, New Jersey has the least safe election systems in the country.
From the not to be a dick, but from the horse's mouth. not to draw back from the smile. And by the way, Mikey, nice chesticles. Either ways, we have the worst election system in the country. And Phil Murphy, our governor, the same blue teamer that she's, they're all writing for, nobody's calling out. He's made it even worse.
Not a great place to be, especially given some of the attacks on our election system we've seen. We don't have paper ballots, which is critical. I held a hearing in Science, Space, and Technology, an oversight hearing on election security, and we had a young woman, a 12-year-old young girl, come in, and she had been at a hacker convention and had been able to, a 12-year-old had been able to hack into election systems similar to our election system.
And honestly, I reposted a video from last week tonight that featured the exact same thing, instances of people going in and just being able to, rig elections. And the problem is so extensive that even I have experience with it. If you can recall or not, I got elected to county committee. I almost didn't get elected to county committee because a lot of the votes that were tabulated for me weren't even processed. I got the sheet back, right? And most people voted for me in a very specific way, which never showed up on that tabulation. And Mayor Voss actually said, it was like you had to have this certain amount of votes. Even though I had that amount of votes, he was like, we're going to give it to you regardless because, you did run unopposed. But either ways, it really is a highlight of the issue. And I think I'll leave a link to that video where I discuss it in the comment section as well.
But it's certainly critically important. Congress has put money towards that, $600 million in the House. The House has put that forward in the SAFE Act that we've passed through the House. We've not seen the Senate take that up. I have been really advocating for the Senate to start to take this seriously. As time dwindles down for the 2020 elections, we're getting closer and closer and closer, and still we haven't done enough to secure our elections. So again, that's
And this is from a blue teamer. This is from a blue teamer in the bluest of blue spaces. Trust me, the 11th is just as blue as the 10th is. So, but that's not the only interesting tidbit that came from this discussion that she was having. Hold on, because another thing that you may recall if you've been sub to the channel for any length of time is that last year I was going to, do my whole campaign strategy thing, campaign management thing with a candidate who turned out to be a communist. He flat out said he's a communist. And the moment he said that was the moment I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm out. I can't mess with communists because I'm an American. I was raised in America to have a lot of faith in have more faith in capitalism and see the merit of capitalism as opposed to communism. But here we are.
Here, Honorable Sherrill. My name is Jan Chao. I live in Parsippany on the Bullfront Drive. I'm here today with my mom, my son, and a few friends of us. We practice a meditation practice called Falun Dafa, which is focused on mind and body health improvement with the principles of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. It has been practiced all over the world now, and here in Parsippany we have a morning session. Everybody is welcome to join us on Saturdays.
Yeah, I've literally never heard of that. But I have absolutely no doubt that, hey, if it works for you, one of the great things about this country, hey, if it works for you, go for it. Just don't try to force it upon anyone else. And unfortunately, there's a gigantic swath of individuals who believe otherwise. Governor Murphy.
And we thank you very much. First of all, we want to thank you very much for your past support. And second, we want to brief you on the level of how communist persecution has impacted residents in this district here.
Communist persecution. Here's the thing. In the United States, you are free to believe whatever stupid shit you want to believe, right? But what I find hilarious, I mean, super funny, both haha and ironically funny, is that when it comes to communism, particularly in the West, Western communism, it's built around capitalism. Because when it comes to a lot of the communist moves, a lot of the espionage that takes place, in many cases, yes, there is an instance where a family member is caught or the individual himself is caught in a compromising position. But then again, you got just as many cases of people taking the money, saying, hey, I'll give you $50,000 to, slide me a few things. And yeah, which is just the building block of capitalism.
Some of us visited your office last month in July in DC, and today with us is also Mr. Shen Quan, who is 90 years old and couldn't make it to the trip to DC last month. Yeah, and so with, for example, Mr. Edward Penn, he was a college student since the persecution started in 1999. Oh, I should rewind a little bit, sorry. Falun Gong has brought great health benefit to the citizens of China, and that's why it spread very fast from 1992 to 1999. The government estimated that there were about 70 million to 100 million people.
Here's the thing, okay? Because when you say you talk about persecution, images arise in your head of people just being hunted down and torched and beaten up for what they believe in. I don't recall that really being the case. Like I said, I almost went and tried to help a communist get into office. And once I realized he was a communist, yeah, I didn't mess with him anymore. But I also didn't go around screaming, oh, you're coming. And you don't, that's not something that's been in my purview at all. And it may just be happening. But this country is a capitalist country without question. And for the most part, you're allowed, if you want to be a communist, if you want to believe in communism, bro, knock yourself out. You don't see the hypocrisy. It's that same circular logic where I have an iPhone, I have a drive a car, I do all these things that were made possible via our capitalistic system. But no, I still want to sit here and cling to Marxism, communism, socialism, and all these other isms that really don't, that really haven't panned out the way that capitalism has.
In China alone practicing it by 1999. But instead of welcoming and honoring the health benefit it brought to the citizens of China, the former Communist Party leader Jiang Zemin back then saw the popularity of the practice as a threat to his rule and launched a persecution in July that year. And since then, many practitioners.
Yo, what the fuck? Decline.
The Falun has experienced the arbitrary detention and torture in labor camps, jails, and four families in the districts have those horrible stories to tell. And together with us, Mr. Edward Pan of Mountain Lakes, he was a college student when that happened, and he was harassed by the communist officials in the university, in the top university, Tsinghua, in Beijing, and also he was
in Beijing. Because, here's the thing. This is a capitalist country. What happens over in a communist country, I wouldn't particularly consider to be our problem, okay? We can sit here and say, oh, no, don't do that, China, all we want. But ultimately, it's kind of China's call. It's not our call. This goes into the Yomini Park video that I did. Actually, and by the way, my apologies for the curse right there. When the phone started ringing, I thought it was going to go off, and I don't care if that number gets doxxed. I don't know who that was. Either ways, it goes into the Yomini Park video where it's like, look, there's levels to this, and when it comes to what's happening over in China and Beijing, all you can really do is say, hey, maybe not, but outside of outside of that, there, our hands are tied due to the fragility of our international relations. So I don't really see the communist, here, at least here in the States. Here in the States, you believe it, knock yourself out, have fun with it, man. You can believe whatever the hell you want. Just don't try to push it on other people. All right, so guys, with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff, if you liked it, so also the dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you, sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice and want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and are the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications, get something from Teespring. Check me out on Patreon as well. Links in the description, and speak. Let me know, what do you guys think in the comments? I mean, nice, she got some nice sweater meat. I ain't going to stunt. But she also has that smile, when she isn't grinning this hard, she has this whole Rachel Maddow thing going on. And when the upper lip disappears, fellas, we've had this conversation, guys. We've had this conversation. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until the next one.